conversations with our queens from across the world. They are entertaining, educating with tons of passion. Welcome to the show, Queens Forever. Global Namaste truly feels on the top of the world with our queen from Seattle, Washington today. Well, let me tell you, she's been a super achiever. As we always say, a super girl who's been into the stardom world and achieved superstardom. Well, let me tell you a little about her. Be it sports, be it education. She's the one who has aced all the endeavors. And of course, it's time for us to put our hands together and give huge round of applause to our Miss World America and Miss World International. May we please kindly invite Cassandra Wallace. A very warm welcome to you, Cassandra. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
My God, I'm truly looking forward to having a conversation with you, with someone who's so passionate about everything she does in life and being a super achiever all her life. So let's get started with childhood, Cassandra. Tell me a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing, and the fact that you've also been the recipient of your Miss Bikini Washington 2022, now, which is the toughest round, let me tell you. So, usually we always start with childhood. So did you ever imagine yourself as a kid to be into the pageant world? And how was your growing up years?
I was totally a tomboy. I never would have pictured that I would have ever done a pageant. To be completely honest, I did a ton of volunteer work. So when I was in second grade, somebody came and spoke at my school about this tribe in Africa that was dying because all of their livestock needed immunization and they didn't have the shot, and somebody donated the shot and they just needed someone to go over there and immunize these cows. So I was like, I want to go. And they're like, yeah, you're too little. You have to be 13. So I saved up money. And when I was 13, I went to Africa for the summer. And all through school and college, I went to Africa every summer and volunteered. It was my passion and I loved it. And as I got older, I did a bikini contest one time and they're like, we have to talk about you during the bikini contest. And I was like, okay, let me tell you about Africa. I've done food distributions and been in the world's largest squatters camp and helped teach kids how to speak English to get into school and that kind of thing. And when I was done with the bikini contest, I ended up winning and I went to thank the judge, and the judge was like, you should go do pageants. And I was like, I'm probably too old to do pageants. And she's like, no, you should go do it. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I went and applied for my first pageant and I ended up winning and just kind of going from there. So, you already said my titles, so you guys already know, but yeah, that's how I got into it.
So let me tell you, I'll finish the entire show reading about your titles. So I just wanted to pick up the best ones, and it is incredible, the kind of achievements you've had right from that age. And considering that you were like a tomboy in the beginning, this is unbelievable. So Cassandra is here with us, and she's going to change lives of everyone forever. To all those who aspire to be like her, well, I'm going to ask her the utmost important question, which is the toughest round, that is the bikini round, where everyone gets nightmares thinking, oh my God, it is the bikini round. And here we have with us our Miss Bikini Washington 2022. So what really gets into winning the title of Miss Bikini? There is so much that gets into it, so much of discipline, so much of passion and hard work. So would you like to say all our viewers and talk about this?
Yeah, I love bikini modeling. It's something that has become a huge passion of mine. It's a little bit nervous at first because you're so exposed compared to being in a pageant gown or something else, but it also gives you the opportunity to shine and be confident. And everybody's body is different and everybody's beautiful in their own way. And so I think the biggest secret to winning the bikini contest is being confident in the body that you have. Everybody has things they don't like or flaws, but instead focus on what you're the most proud of. What have you worked the hardest on to improve? Are your arms your best feature, or your legs, or your stomach, or what do you feel is your best feature, and focus on that and be proud of your body and the accomplishments that it's done. And I think that's the best tip to winning, because I think people can see confidence in somebody, and that is the most appealing trait versus who looks like a Barbie doll versus who's confident in what they have and like, I'm amazing and you should pick me.
Now, you've been the US representative for quite a few sessions where you have almost 60 to 80 countries coming together and speaking about women power, girl power, education, and the likes. And of course, one such event coming up next month, the month of May, at Morocco. So what is this all about? You've always been into, doing a lot of great philanthropic work. And what is this all about?
Well, this is taking it to a whole nother level. So I've gone to villages and volunteered before, but this is taking it to a global scale. So I'm working with a nonprofit that at 60 different countries, and they're taking all the legislative leaders of those countries are meeting for a summit in Morocco. And I'm one of the speakers, and there's many speakers, and we're talking about coming up with legislation to bring to the United Nations. Because the problem is there's a lot of countries that would like to get rid of laws that are discriminatory towards, it could be religion, it could be any number of things, but they feel the pressure from society not to change it. However, when something comes from the United Nations, it gives power to all of those countries to then say, I know this has been our tradition for a long time to not allow this group or this people or this gender access to this, but we don't want to get in trouble with the United Nations. So we got to go along with this, which frees up and gives women access to education and gives people access to jobs and things that they wouldn't have had before. So it's really I know it sounds silly to say in 2022 that people need access to those things, but they do globally. And so it's a summit to promote that and to get all the leaders to sign off on it to push for the UN. So I'm really excited to go share the stories of many women that I have encountered, because I can share their story and there's no repercussion. If they share their story, people know who they are and where they're from. So I'm really excited to take it to the next level and try and do some global good instead of just local good, if that makes sense.
I love this, the global good instead of local good. Cassandra, usually it's the other way around. It's just that when, girls want to be a part of a beauty pageant, they know it's always beauty with a cause, and they try and dedicate themselves to all these activities. But for you, it's been the other way around. You were always a part of, great social work and all the activities that you've done. And then you thought of getting into a beauty pageant. Has it been of a great asset to you?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the biggest perk about doing pageants and why I will definitely continue to do them is it gives a lot of attention to charities. So I get to go on lovely shows like this, and I get to do a lot of podcasts and a lot of media stuff. And I get to promote all these cool charities that I'm working with, where otherwise, of course, I could still be promoting them, but it puts the spotlight on them and it gets more attention. And so to me, it is a really huge asset because it's a way to take the attention I have and shift it to something that feels meaningful to me, which is the charities that I volunteer with.
Cassandra, I really want to talk to you something very special. Now, we have, of course, the Indian film fraternity, that is Bollywood. And Bollywood would definitely love to have you, and someone like World America, Miss World International is gonna be a complete wow. So do you know of someone who could really give you a nice break in Bollywood? I think every girl dreams of being in Hollywood and Bollywood. So do you know of anyone, who's probably known to you who could give you the right way out and show you the path?
Yeah, I actually do. So from everything I've learned and heard, the person in the US, if you want to get in touch and be part of Bollywood, is Mr. India. That is the person that you need to connect with if that's where you want your dreams to go.
Oh, you already know about him. Now, this is surprising to all of us. Okay, Cassandra Wallace, it's time for us to invite our only Indian known promoter of the art and culture in the United States and across the world. Yes, with love, we call him Mr. India because he's the one who fulfills every girl's wish. And every girl's wish is obviously to be a part of Bollywood fraternity. Well, to all my lovely people across the world, please let's give it up this time from Mr. Bharat Goradia.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you, Cassandra. First of all, to all the viewers of IndusTV, namaste. Simran, to you, namaskar. And of course, Cassandra, you are an international personality. To you, a global namaste. First of all, on behalf of our sponsor, River Comics, We International, and IndusTV, it is my great privilege and pleasure to welcome Cassandra on one of the finest talk show of all time, called Queens Forever. And you look like a queen only. You are a queen, not look like, but you are a queen. And what a wonderful titles you have with you. Miss World, then Miss World America, Miss World Universe, then Miss Bikini Washington 2022. Oh my God, my God. I think every title is with you. The other girl must be jealous of you.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the Bollywood. Bollywood would love to have such a wonderful, beautiful, multi-talented like you are. Already got so many titles with you. So Bollywood would love to have you in their fold. And what better? I mean, recently Bollywood has accepted international dignitaries like you, artists like Katrina Kaif, Ellie Avram, Evelyn Sharma, Nora Fateh. So you are one of them only now. And Bollywood would really, really love to welcome you. And it is my pleasure to introduce you over there to see, since you are the one who can dominate in Bollywood as well as Hollywood also. So my pleasure. And once again, a very hearty welcome and all the best wishes.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, dear. Pleasure too.
This is truly interesting. And Balaji, you're looking dapper today, by the way. So
it is only because
your magic.
It is only because of the reflection of the two beautiful. What better way to share the screen with two of the most beautiful, multi-talented beauties like both of you. So if at all I'm signing, it is because of both of you. I am your reflections.
Very, very kind of you. Well, to everyone who's watching us here today, you're probably wondering what's really going on. Now, this is unbelievable. And this is what these queens do to us. To know more about Cassandra Wallace, but right after this very short commercial break, but before that, our humble thanks to River Comics for truly making everyone's lives colorful and for giving all of us these beautiful moments to rejoice with our queens forever, only on IndusTV. You keep watching and we catch you guys soon. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm truly delighted to have with us the ambassador for several sports. Now, please tell us, Cassandra, be it soccer, football, you've been a champ in all the sports and all the different endeavors. Tell us a little bit about the exposure that you had to the sports arena.
Yeah, so I was contacted by a group and they said, hey, like most countries have rec sports that kids can go play, and Haiti did not for girls. They did for boys, but not girls. And they were having a hard time finding girls to get sponsored, and they were having a hard time getting girls to play. And so I was part of the Miss World International pageant at the time. And I was like, hey, we're all girls. Why don't we rally behind these women and encourage the moms to get the girls to play? So I got a group of queens together and we ended up getting 144 girls sponsored to play. I found a nonprofit that just donates brand new soccer balls, and I brought them to Haiti, and I got to go watch the girls play their games 4 times. And it was really fun because a lot of these girls maybe only get to eat a meal once every 3 days and aren't in school and don't get access to sports. And part of the program is they're scouting for professional athletes. So if any of the girls or the boys that are playing are academically or athletically inclined, they pull them out and they send them and their entire family to Canada or the UK. They get a full ride education, and then they're fast tracked to be professional athletes. So that's a really cool opportunity, and I love that. But aside from that, I love being able to encourage the girls to stay in school and to encourage their parents that it's a great thing to do sports, and it's a great thing to give women access to those things. You can still be a stay-at-home mom, or you can go have a career, but being able to read and write makes your world so much larger. And so it was really like meaningful for me to be able to go and advocate that face to face in Haiti.
Cassandra, what according to you are, those important factors, that you need to inculcate in order to win the title of beauty pageant of a queen?
Well, I think it's kind of the full package thing. I don't think you can have just one thing. I think when you go, you need to be able to communicate. You have to, if you've been doing charity work, you need to be able to articulate what you've been doing, why it's important, why the judges should care about it. You're walking into a room full of everybody's stunning, everybody's gorgeous. So you have to find something to stick out. So you need to be able to show what is unique about you and get the judge's attention with that. So I think that having your personality show through is also a key to winning as well.
Well, that's interesting. I think you've spoken something very, very important. It's always about, because all of them are super stunning out there. And, as a jury, of course, they would always want to see what is that factor in you. And so what, according to you, is that factor in Cassandra?
Honestly, I think my edge is that I am a very untraditional beauty queen. So I haven't been raised doing pageants since I was a child, and my focus is on volunteer work. And so I have a very different mindset. Like I'm competing against myself. I'm not competing against any of the other girls there. I want to be a better version of myself. I want to push myself harder to make a difference in the world. And so I think that is what makes me unique and stands out to the judges from the other girls.
Cassandra, does winning the crown help you in your career as well for the future? And how has it helped you in everything that you're doing right now?
Yeah, definitely. So I have a tax practice. I'm an enrolled agent. And so I actually end up getting a lot of my tax clients that are like fellow beauty queens I compete with, or at a lot of charity events that I attend. I'll meet people that have businesses and they'll be talking about their taxes. And I'm like, oh, I can help you with that. And I feel like everybody's always surprised when I actually have a day job too. But I think it's blended beautifully because it allows me to mix both of my passions. Like I really love volunteering. I really love helping people save money on their taxes. And so I think it's just kind of, as it is a unique business model, but I think it has all kind of tied together in a very efficient way.
So I really need to thank River Comics for this very brilliant show, Queens Forever, where every girl who dreams and aspires to be one like Cassandra Wallace gets an opportunity to know about the way, to know the right path, to know about the preparation. So Cassandra, I'm truly thankful to, of course, Indus Global TV for having the show Queens Forever. Now, they always say once a queen, always a queen. And, it's very difficult for any queen to be 24/7 in that perfect mode. How do you maintain it from years together You always look like a queen 24/7. So what is that one thing that really keeps you going and motivates you yourself?
For me, it's a mindset. Like I feel like I owe it to the nonprofits that I represent to present an image that is polished, that is what they would want reflecting their charities. Also feel like I owe it to the different pageant systems that I'm a title holder for, because in a sense, I'm representing their brand. So it's not just me when I go do something, I'm representing them. And so I take that very serious as if it were a job. Like I want to show up, I want to work hard, I want to do my best, I want to be the best delegate I can, because it reflects on them. I mean, of course, it reflects on me as well, but that is huge to me. I also want to be a good example for my kids. And so I have 3 little boys, and it is a huge part of my driving force to show an example to them about volunteering and giving back and making a difference, and to show them an example of, if you're given a title, you're given an opportunity. So you need to make the most of it. So I want to show them what you can do with hard work and dedication. So they're definitely my motivation as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, this is phenomenal. The way you balance your life is another ball game altogether. But which is the question that won Cassandra the crown? Of course, we're going to ask her and several other questions at Miss World America, Miss World International, but right after this super short commercial break. See you guys pretty soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for We International Founder, President, Chairman, Mr. Bharat Goradia, Bollywood star. Mr. Bharat Goradia with legendary singers from Indian music industry. He believes in spreading smiles over everyone's faces. Sports champion. The Dada Saheb Phalke Award and Bharat Gaurav Pride of India Award winner Mr. Bharat Goradia has been innumerably awarded across the globe for his outstanding work in the field of promoting Indian arts and culture all over the world.
Hey guys, welcome back. Cassandra, which are those answers, according to you, also the best answers that you've given to the jury, to the judges, which really made you wear the crown as a winner?
Honestly, it was the question I was the least prepared for. So I got up at the Miss World International pageant, and it's an international stage. All of these girls have had international titles before. I was definitely the underdog. It was very intimidating. And I walk up there, and the very first question the judge asks me you can't answer yourself, but who do you think should win this pageant and why? And that was not a question that I had prepared for at all. And it took a beat, and then I was like, oh, I know this answer. I met one of the girls. She's from Romania, and she grew up in an orphanage, and then she came here to the States. She started a nonprofit, and she funds all the school supplies and clothes and needs for all of the kids at that orphanage in Romania. And I said, I just heard about that yesterday when I got here. And to me, that's very inspiring. And I love the fact that she came from humble beginnings, and instead of just moving on, she still takes the time to give back to where she came from. And so for that reason, I think she should win, because that is a good quality of an ambassador and somebody to represent the pageant. So that was my answer. And apparently several of the other girls were asked the same question and instead answered that they should win, even though they were specifically instructed to pick someone else. So I think that's the hardest question I've been asked on the spot. But I also think that was the best answer that I've given, because I think it shows, one, you're listening to what the judges are actually asking, and two, it shows more of my personality and who I am. So yeah.
And this is unbelievable. Did your heart skip a beat when you actually gave someone's name and, thinking that, oh my God, she's going to have an edge over you because you think she should win? Did you ever feel that at that point of time, or you were really relaxed?
No, I totally thought that I did not think I was going to win that pageant at all. In fact, when it like got down to like the top two and they had said my name and one of the girls was like pushing me forward, she was like, "That's you." And I was like, "Really?" Like I was shocked. I didn't think that I had a chance because everybody was so much more experienced than me and so much more beautiful and everything. And so in my mind, I just had decided, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to enjoy this moment. And it's okay if I don't win because I know that I did my best and that's what's the most important. And so it was very shocking to me when I ended up winning. I fully expected to not be the winner, but I did win. So it was a very pleasant surprise.
Wow. So let's get into the preparation, Cassandra. How do you actually prepare yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, holistically for a beauty pageant? What is it that really gets into it? Tell us a little bit about your schedules and how do you really balance your life?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. So walking for me, I practice that a lot. So, you want your walk to be like on point because if you come out for the swimwear, you're walking. If you come out for your interview, you're still walking to get out there. You come out for the evening gown portion. So I spend a lot of time walking. I have a deck in my front yard, so it's a little tiny plank. So it keeps them on the straight line and I will walk back and forth on that for hours practicing in my heels. So I do that a lot. And then I also will take a video camera and record myself so I can see, like, is my walk on point? Do I have my shoulders back? Do I have my head up? Do I have my look how I want it to be? So that's super helpful because sometimes you think that you're doing it correctly and then you see yourself and you're like, oh, my shoulders are forward. What am I doing? So that's something that I do a lot. I try and, take good care of my body. So diet and exercise, like trying to just eat healthy and get in a lot of exercise. And then I also do a lot of research on the particular pageant system I'm in. Like, what are they looking for? What do the past winners look like? Not necessarily their appearance, but what were they doing? Like, were they promoting the organization? Were they involved in a bunch of charities? Like, what were the things that I can notice that made that person stand out? Because that might be what the judges are looking for. So I just try and do all of that. And then at the end of the day, like, it is scary because, like, you could be rejected. But at the end of the day, I just try and think about it as I'm competing against myself and I'm going to feel good if I gave it my all. And I feel like I was prepared and I worked hard and not feel like I need to beat this girl who's like, looks like a supermodel. Like, I don't think about it that way. So for me, it helps me process it better because then I feel like I can be friends with those girls and not feel like it's a us and them kind of thing. We're all just trying to be the best version of ourselves.
And this is unbelievable. I think no one, on the show has ever spoken about the aspects that you've looked into. And especially when you, said that, yes, of course, you're not competing is what everyone has to get that feel because we're all sister queens after all. And we have to have that vibe. But the fact that you do the research, I think, is a unique answer. What the pageant is really looking forward to and, a lot of time that you spend. But really, do you spend hours together just trying to give in the best regards your walk? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always do. Every time before I go do, like, I auditioned for Seattle Fashion Week this last weekend and I spent hours walking, doing it just because if something feels like second nature and you get nervous, you're going to go to your default. So if your default isn't your perfectly posed everything, your head, your feet, your legs, everything, then if you get nervous, you're going to go to what you shouldn't do. So if you practice it over and over again, it's like what athletes do. It's muscle memory. So the more you practice it, the easier it is, and it just becomes your default. So yes, I always practice at 10 before every single event.
Wow. Now listen, we're going to come towards the last round. That's rapid fire round. I'm going to have plenty of questions for you because you've been the best every single time you've been a part of a pageant queen and actually been a winner at most of them. The fact that you balance your life so well and of course, looking after your folks and your family and of course, being this 24/7 are perfect model. So let's get started with, the first question, the most important question. What are those 3 important ingredients you think one must possess to actually wear the crown according to you?
I think you have to be confident. I think you have to love yourself. And I think you have to be driven.
Yeah. who is been your motivation all your life?
Honestly, my motivation when I was little was like my dad. I wanted to be like him. And then now that he's passed, my motivation is my kids. Like I want to be a good example for them. I want to like pave the way to show them what they should do in life.
I just want to know if you could select any 3 sister queens who've really inspired you and why, who would you select?
I would select Layla. She was Miss Universe, and she was amazing. I loved her because she's Russian, and she moved all the way over here to start a new life, to pursue modeling and to chase her dreams. And I think that that's scary, to move to another country all by yourself and to do that. And I have a huge respect for her. She had to learn a new language and a new culture, and she's the kindest, sweetest person I've ever met. So I adore her and I look up to her for sure. I also really look up to one of my other sister queens. Her name's Robin, and she actually got in a really bad accident before she ever did pageants. And so she constantly, I think this last year, she had 16 surgeries. And so she's always got that to deal with. But what I love about her is she always has a beautiful attitude. That girl will always have a smile on her face and something happy to say to you. And I love her ability to face adversity, and instead of be like, oh, everybody should feel bad for me because I have to have surgeries and I don't feel good. Instead, she's like, hey, look at my cool new like scar that I got or whatever. Just her vibrancy in her life and her approach to it is inspiring to me. So I love that. And lastly would be my friend Deidre Curtis. She's Miss France. And what I love about her is that she always wanted to be a model and have a modeling agency. And this last year, she's going to kill me for saying her age. She looks like she's 20, but she's turning 50. And she just opened up her modeling agency. And I love that you're never too old to chase your dreams. Like I feel a lot of people decide once they're past 20, they can't do what they always wanted to do. And I love that she's fiercely going after her dream and her vision, and she's making it a reality. And I hugely admire that in her.
Well, what an answer. And all the 3, I'm sure, of course, I've heard about them, but I didn't know about, all these positives that you spoke. So thank you. Thank you for doing that to us. I do want to know, to have the perfect abs, especially for the bikini round, that you give up on, and for how long?
Yeah. So for me, I kind of always naturally had a 6-pack because I just was very active and I've done sports and worked out. But after having kids, that was not the case. I have a set of twins and my stomach muscles completely like ripped apart. So it was very, very hard for me to get that back after having twins. So for me, I do HIIT workouts, like high intensity interval training. So like 15 to 20 minutes a day and just eating pretty clean. And I've been able to maintain it that way. But it definitely, it takes more effort after having kids for sure.
But which are the favorite foods that you've given up on, something that you really love, but,
potatoes. I love potatoes. I'm an Irish girl and I love potatoes, and they have way too many carbs. So no, I have to give up potatoes.
Lucky damn. No one is going to believe that. Oh, I can't believe that myself. Your 3-minute quick trick for the right makeup. If you just had to do makeup in 3 minutes, how would you really help yourself and show the world still?
Sure. I'm gonna steal something I heard from someone that was in France one time, that you never leave the house without blush on because it makes you look alive. So I would say if I had 3 minutes, I would be sure to put foundation and blush and mascara and eyeliner on, but definitely blush would be the one thing that I would not leave the house without.
Oh my God, I love this. I think the fact you learned it from your sister Queen France, I think we all learned. Very, very interesting. 3 important essentials you always carry in your bag, Cassandra.
Makeup remover wipes, because you never know when something gets off and you just need to fix that. A hairbrush, because again, you want your hair to always look on point. And then a cell phone charger, because as a queen, you get lots of fun opportunities to take selfies and pictures. And if your battery's dead, that's no good.
Do you like to accentuate your eyes or your lips more often?
My eyes, I'm not very good at doing makeup, but I love very, very dramatic makeup. So when I get the chance with a very skilled makeup artist, I love for them to create something very dramatic on my eyes. That's my favorite.
You say you're not very good at makeup. No one is going to really believe that. Is this your makeup done on your own, what you've done right now?
Yeah, this is makeup on my own. I mean, compared to like, you see professional makeup artists and they just like work magic on people's faces. And I don't have that skill set, but I definitely admire everyone that does. But yeah, this is about what I can do is what I have on now.
What's been your favorite round in a beauty pageant?
I like the question part the best because I feel like you can learn so much about the contestant by their answer. So that's definitely my favorite, but it's hard to pick that between that and the bikini round because I love bikini modeling. So it's a tough, I think they're both my favorite if that's allowed to be my answer.
Color for the bikini round. Do you have any favorite color?
Yeah. So it was interesting to me learning about pageants that like there's certain colors that look good on you and certain colors that don't. I love the color red. So any chance I have the opportunity, I love to wear red, like bright red lipstick, bright red bikini, and blonde hair. That look works on me. So yes, red is my favorite.
What is that one advice you'd like to give to all those girls who are just starting, to be a part of dreaming of a beauty pageant? How do they really start and, begin with dreaming and making it a possibility?
Yeah, I think if anybody has a dream, they should go after it and chase it because somebody very wise once told me that if you never try, you've already failed. But if you go ahead and try, you at least have the option to succeed. So if you have a dream, pursue it, go for it. And you know what? If it doesn't work out the first time, think about it, see what didn't work, and then go try it again and keep going. Like sometimes in life, you have to try things like 8, 10, 15 times before they work out. But just stick to what your dream is and don't be discouraged if it doesn't work out at first, because that's an opportunity to learn something. So learn and grow. So that would be my best piece of advice, followed up secondly by there's nobody that's more you than you, to quote Dr. Seuss. But I think it's very true. Like I think a lot of people see and idolize this beautiful person and they're like, I have to be that. Well, you can't be that person. You're not that person. You're you. But you have something that's beautiful and wonderful and unique that you can bring to the world. So I think instead of trying to compare yourself against other people that you looked up to, instead work on you and make you the best version because you're something special and unique and wonderful.
If you had to just all of a sudden sing a song, where all your sister queens are sitting, which is that song that comes to your mind, which has been your favorite song?
I'm terrible at singing, but we were all in LA a month ago at the Oscars and we were singing All I Need Is Your Love Tonight in our very off-tune voices, but that's probably one of my favorite songs right now.
The most challenging time you've had being a part of a beauty pageant, do you remember any such instance, some instance where, oh my God, you had a huge challenge and you succeeded, or maybe you didn't succeed?
Yeah, no, there's definitely been like huge wardrobe malfunctions. Like I've been backstage where somebody's dress completely falls apart and I'm next up on stage and I'm sewing somebody's dress on them and like trying to like mentally get in the right headspace while I'm still sewing them up. And, but I'm a firm believer in not like stepping over people to get somewhere. So if there's ever somebody backstage that needs something, I'm always going to be the one that helps them because I feel like that's the right thing to do. So for me, that or like showing up behind stage and like your gown's gone, and so now you have to find a backup one. You've got 30 seconds to be on stage and it's like maybe your gown got misplaced when they were setting it up or something like that. Just being able to, in the moment, maintain your composure and say, okay, we're going with plan B. So I always have a backup swimsuit, cocktail dress, interview, everything. Because it happens, like your stuff is just gone backstage and you have to wear something out there. So just being able to be fluid in the moment and not let that wreck your composure and ruin your event. Just be like, okay, this is what I meant to wear today. I'm going to go rock it.
What is Cassandra Wallace's future dream?
I have a few. I really want to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That is a huge dream of mine. So I'm going and I'm competing in Miami Swim Week. And so I'm Miss Bikini Washington Fitness. I'm competing for Miss Bikini USA Fitness. And I'm doing that in July. And so Miami Swim Week's where a lot of Sports Illustrated models get picked up at. So that is a huge, huge dream of mine that I would like to do. I also would really, really love for this initiative that's being prepared to go before the UN. Like, it would feel absolutely amazing if that gets pushed before the UN and gets signed off on. Like, that would be a huge dream for me, just because of all the women that I've seen in different parts of the world. Like, I would love for them to have the opportunities that I have. And it's not just about women, of course, boys too. Like, I don't want to leave them out or whoever out, but just, it's really nice that I've had the opportunity for education. And I just would really love for everybody to get that in their life as well.
You say once a queen, queens forever. Once a queen, forever. Do you believe in this?
I do. I absolutely do. I think it's a mindset. And I think once you've won, you've got that. No one can ever take it away from you, even though the next year, the next person gets that title and it's wonderful and magical for them. But I believe it's something you keep with you your entire life.
All right. So we have a very special question to be asked by our Mr. India, who's going to be here pretty soon. And of course, we're eagerly waiting to hear your answer for the same question. Maybe please welcome Mr. Bharat Goradia, time, a humble comics. And you're watching us only on Indus Global TV. And this is Queens Forever. Welcome, Bharatji.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. After seeing you, super fine. Who will not be super fine after seeing you and after hearing you? Anyway, I have a very interesting question to ask you. If given the opportunity to go on a date with any of the Hollywood, Bollywood, or any celebrity of the world, whom will you go with and where will you go with?
I'm going to I would go with you. And I would love to go see some of the behind the scenes of how Bollywood works. I would love to get a tour of everything and see how you work your magic.
No, apart from me, is there anybody who from Hollywood or any who is very favorite to you, very popular, and you would love to go on a date with him?
I'm also a huge fan of Johnny Depp. Like, I would absolutely love to go hang out with him as well.
Oh, thank you so very much on behalf of our sponsor, River Comics, We International, and IndusTV. Thank you so very much for sparing your valuable time, sharing your experiences, knowledge, and wisdom, and giving the best of the tips to all the young girls who are likely to contest any beauty pageants all across globe. That being yourself, love yourself, be the best version of yourself. So thank you so very much, and wishing you all the very best in all your forthcoming projects, and see you very, very soon in New York.
Yes.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, it's been truly interesting. And Bharatji is going to have a sleepless night today, thinking about have with Cassandra. But nevertheless, it's been truly wondrous knowing about the lovely journey of Cassandra Wallace. She's not just been an inspiration to all the girls out there, but she says, yes, everyone should get an opportunity. Why not? Helps everyone to be, of course, not just of yourself, but of course, taking care of also giving back to the society, giving back to the masses, and making this world a better place to live in. With this beautiful note, it's time for us to thank Cassandra and thank River Comics, Be International, and Indus Global TV for the show, Queens Forever, where we get this lovely opportunity of meeting our beauty queens from across the world. For now, Miss World America, Miss World International, Cassandra Wallace. Goodbye, take care, love you, sweetheart. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you so very much to Mr. India, Simran, Riva Comics, and IndusTV Global.